This episode comes to you as a personal guide to freedom. Every challenge you currently face connects to one powerful truth. Your life is ruled by the opinions of others. What other people think about you has become the invisible prison that holds you back from true happiness. But what if breaking free was simpler than you realize? Right now, we are going to explore the revolutionary idea of living for yourself instead of others. Great thinkers throughout history, from Socrates to modern psychologists, have all pointed to this same truth. External validation is a bottomless pit that can never be filled. People who chase approval from others spend their entire lives running on a hamster wheel, never reaching their destination. The solution requires something most people lack: the courage to be yourself even when others disapprove. This might sound simple, but it is actually one of the hardest things a person can do. Your entire life could change within the next 20 minutes. In this episode, you will discover why seeking approval makes you miserable, how society trains you to depend on validation, the secret cost of people-pleasing, and most importantly, the exact steps to break free and live authentically. Human happiness cannot exist when your self-worth depends on other people. Your mind was designed to seek connection with others, but modern society has twisted this natural instinct into something harmful, an addiction to approval that never satisfies. Psychology professor Dr. Mark Leary discovered through decades of research that humans developed a sociometer, an internal gauge that monitors how others perceive us. This evolutionary tool once helped our ancestors avoid rejection from their tribes, which could mean death. But in today's world, this same mechanism causes immense suffering. The sociometer affects every aspect of your identity. Each time someone criticizes you, your brain registers it as a threat, triggering stress hormones as if your survival were at risk. Your body cannot tell the difference between physical danger and social rejection. Most people believe their thoughts and feelings about themselves come from within, but research shows the opposite. Your self-image forms almost entirely based on how you think others see you. This explains why criticism hurts so deeply. It threatens your very sense of self. Modern social media amplifies this problem to extreme levels. Each like, comment, and share feeds directly into your sociometer, creating an endless cycle of seeking validation. Studies show that heavy social media users experience higher levels of anxiety, depression, and loneliness precisely because of this mechanism. Some argue that caring what others think is necessary for social harmony. However, there is a crucial difference between basic respect for others and basing your entire self-worth on their opinions. The first creates connection, the second creates suffering. Research from Harvard University reveals that people who base their self-worth on external sources report higher levels of stress, anger, academic problems, relationship conflicts, and are more likely to engage in unhealthy behaviors. Your mind convinces you that receiving approval from others will finally make you happy. So why does chasing approval always lead to misery instead? The answer lies in understanding that approval seeking is not about happiness at all. It is a survival strategy. Your brain believes rejection will harm you, so it frantically tries to avoid disapproval at all costs. This creates a permanent state of anxiety because you can never control what others think. Every decision you make becomes contaminated by this hidden question: what will others think? From the clothes you wear to the career you choose, your authentic desires take a back seat to winning approval. The result is a life that looks good to others but feels empty to you. The most damaging effect happens in your closest relationships. Research shows that approval seekers struggle to form genuine connections because their relationships become transactions, giving only to receive validation in return. There are two fundamental ways to approach relationships with others. You can try to extract approval from them, or you can express your authentic self while respecting theirs. Only the second path leads to real happiness. People who constantly seek validation develop what psychologists call an external locus of control. They believe their worth comes from outside themselves rather than from within. This mindset creates a victim mentality where happiness always depends on others. Many assume that caring about others' opinions shows empathy and kindness. The reality proves much different. True empathy comes from a secure sense of self that allows you to understand others without being controlled by them. The root cause of approval addiction often traces back to childhood. Children naturally seek approval from parents and authority figures. When this normal phase becomes the permanent basis for self-worth, emotional development stops, creating adults who still need constant reassurance. People who successfully gain approval from others often discover a painful truth. It never satisfies. The validation you worked so hard to achieve feels hollow because it was given to a false version of yourself, not who you really are. Constantly monitoring what others think requires enormous mental energy. Studies show that approval seekers experience higher levels of exhaustion and burnout because their minds never truly rest. They sacrifice their freedom by becoming prisoners to others' expectations. Psychologist Dr. Harriet Breaker calls this the disease to please, explaining, "When your self-worth depends on what others think of you, you surrender control over your life. You become a hostage to their opinions, constantly performing to avoid their disapproval." The worst part about seeking approval is that it is fundamentally impossible to achieve completely. Different people want different things from you, creating contradictory demands that cannot all be satisfied. When faced with this impossible situation, many people respond by becoming people pleasers who try to make everyone happy. This strategy backfires because it creates resentment within yourself and disrespect from others who sense your inauthenticity. The mind then creates a protective defense mechanism, giving up on authentic connection altogether. You might tell yourself, "I do not care what anyone thinks," but this attitude usually masks deeper hurt and fear of rejection. Some approval seekers develop perfectionism as a strategy to avoid criticism. They believe if they can just be perfect, enough rejection will never come. This sets up an impossible standard that guarantees anxiety and depression. Relationships suffer the most severe damage from approval seeking. You cannot truly connect with someone while simultaneously trying to manipulate how they see you. Authentic love requires vulnerability, showing your true self despite the risk of rejection. Competition naturally emerges when multiple people seek limited approval. You begin seeing others as threats rather than potential friends. Their success seems to diminish your value, creating jealousy and isolation. Social media magnifies this competitive dynamic. Each post becomes a bid for approval, creating a marketplace where people trade authenticity for likes. Studies show that hours after scrolling through social media, approval seekers report lower self-esteem and higher anxiety. The most devastating consequence appears in romantic relationships. Partners become sources of validation rather than companions on life's journey. When your partner fails to provide constant reassurance, you experience it as abandonment rather than normal human variation. Freedom comes when you shift your focus from being liked to being authentic. People who live for themselves experience a profound sense of peace because their worth no longer depends on factors outside their control. The path to authentic living begins with a simple but powerful realization. Your value as a human being requires no outside confirmation. You are inherently worthy simply because you exist, not because of what others think about you. Self-acceptance replaces the need for external validation. When you truly accept yourself, including your flaws and mistakes, Others' opinions lose their power over you. This creates mental freedom unlike anything you have experienced before. Dr. Kristin Neff, leading researcher on self-compassion, explains, "When we offer ourselves the same kindness we would give to a good friend, we stop needing others to validate our worth. This is not selfishness, but the foundation of genuine connection with others." Paradoxically, focusing on your own authentic path actually improves your relationships. When you stop using others as sources of validation, you can appreciate them for who they truly are, rather than what they can give you. The most fulfilling human experiences come from contributing value to others without needing anything in return. This becomes possible only when your self-worth no longer depends on their response. Each person is born with natural gifts and perspectives that are uniquely theirs. Living authentically means honoring these gifts rather than conforming to others' expectations. Your unique contribution cannot happen if you are busy trying to be what others want. People living authentically view the success of others as inspiration rather than threat. They celebrate excellence in others because they no longer measure their own worth through comparison. Present moment awareness naturally increases when you stop worrying about others' judgments. Without the constant mental chatter about what others might think, you can fully experience each moment as it happens. Breaking free from approval seeking requires specific tools and practices. One powerful technique is the approval audit, examining each of your major life decisions to determine how much was based on gaining approval versus authentic desire. Small daily choices create ideal practice opportunities. The next time someone asks for your opinion, notice if you automatically say what you think they want to hear. Practice stating your true thoughts instead, even on minor matters. Social media can be completely transformed by asking one question. Before posting, would I share this if no one could like or comment on it? This simple filter reveals your true motivations and helps break the validation cycle. Learning to sit with disapproval represents a crucial skill. Start with small disagreements where the stakes feel low. Notice the physical sensations of discomfort without acting on them. This builds tolerance for disapproval over time. Your language patterns often reveal approval-seeking tendencies. Phrases like, "I should," "I need to," or "what will they think," signal external motivation. Replace these with empowered alternatives like, "I choose to," or "I want to." Setting boundaries becomes essential for authentic living. Many approval seekers struggle to say no because they fear disapproval. Practice declining small requests initially, gradually building to more significant boundaries. Perfectionism requires specific counter-strategies. Intentionally doing something good enough, rather than perfect, helps break this pattern. Start with low-stakes activities and gradually apply this to more important areas. Cultivating a few deep relationships with people who appreciate your authentic self provides crucial support. These relationships serve as evidence that being yourself does not lead to rejection as your mind fears. Physical practices complement mental strategies. Research shows that upright posture, deep breathing, and power poses reduce approval-seeking behaviors by changing your hormonal balance and nervous system activation. Many approval seekers neglect their own needs while attending to others. Creating a daily self-care routine signals to your subconscious that your needs matter just as much as others. The journey to authentic living takes time and practice. Each time you choose your authentic truth over others' approval, you build the authenticity muscle that will eventually transform your entire life. Historical figures offer powerful inspiration for authentic living. Mahatma Gandhi faced enormous pressure to compromise his principles, but famously said, "I cannot be made to think as others think." His commitment to his truth changed the course of history. Entrepreneur Sara Blakely built billion-dollar company Spanx despite constant rejection and criticism. She attributes her success to focusing on her mission rather than others' opinions. "Every time I received a no, it just strengthened my resolve," she explains. Research on deathbed regrets reveals that the most common regret is living the life others expected of me rather than being true to myself. This universal finding spans cultures and generations. Social experiments demonstrate how quickly people conform to group pressure. In the famous Asch conformity experiments, 75% of participants gave obviously wrong answers when others in the group did so. This shows how deeply ingrained approval-seeking is in human psychology. Corporate environments often reward conformity over authenticity, yet companies led by authentic leaders outperform their peers by significant margins, according to multiple studies. This proves that authenticity creates value even in competitive settings. Relationships thrive under authenticity. Studies of long-term couples reveal that authentic self-expression predicts relationship satisfaction better than conflict avoidance or compromise. This contradicts the common belief that pleasing others leads to better relationships. Children naturally live authentically until taught otherwise. Observing a young child's uninhibited self-expression provides a powerful reminder of your natural state before approval seeking was learned. Living authentically creates a positive ripple effect beyond your personal happiness. When you break free from approval seeking, you give silent permission for others to do the same. Creative breakthroughs require authentic thinking. History's greatest innovations came from people willing to pursue their unique vision despite criticism. Your authentic contribution cannot happen while seeking approval. Decision-making improves dramatically when freed from approval concerns. Research shows that authentic decision-makers report higher satisfaction with their choices even when outcomes are identical to approval-based decisions. Physical health benefits from authenticity. Studies link approval-seeking to increased stress, hormones, inflammation, and weakened immune function. Living authentically literally helps your body function better. The ultimate benefit of authentic living extends to your legacy. At the end of life, your unique contribution will matter far more than how many people approved of you along the way. No matter how perfectly you perform, some people will still disapprove of you. This unchangeable reality means seeking universal approval is not just difficult, it is impossible. Therefore, lasting happiness requires the courage to be yourself even when faced with disapproval. Living for yourself does not mean ignoring others completely. It means valuing your authentic truth enough to stand by it even when others disagree. The question now remains, will you continue living in the prison of others' opinions, or will you find the courage to break free and live the authentic life that awaits you? The choice, as it always has been, belongs to you alone.